Hey guys, I'm back with a new video today. In today's video, I am back with some Dragon Raja. Now, it's been a while since I made a Dragon Raja video, but I wanted to make an updated guide on the classes in Dragon Raja because it's been a while and they introduced a new class, and I'm kind of late on it, but better late than never, right? So if you're a new player or a player that's been playing the game, hopefully this video can help you out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys haven't. Let's jump right into it. So right here, we are here with the look at how good this class looks. This is a Reaper. I am here with the Reaper, but we're going to talk about the Reaper. But first of all, let's talk about other classes real quick. Now, we have the classes here. As you guys can see, they have 7 classes in Dragon Raja. You know, if you're a new player, you're like, that's a lot of classes. I don't know which one to choose between. Now, don't worry, I'll make it a little bit easier for you guys. So let's start off with the BladeMaster, because when I started the game, I played a BladeMaster, and BladeMaster was super strong back in the day. Now, BladeMaster is more of a warrior tank. It's high defense while being able to output some damage, good survivability, good CC, and at the start of the game, it's a very strong class because when you enter the start dungeons, having the high defense really helps you out in the different dungeons and PvP. But when you get to the mid range, a high level, but if you're not wailing, you're gonna get out DPS by most of the classes, and they're gonna shred most of your armor, and you're gonna basically be a really easy target to beat in both PvE and PvP when it comes to DPS. So you're gonna get outmatched in DPS in PvE, and you're gonna be an easy target in PvP because your armor isn't keeping up with your level basically, and the other characters have high basically DPS. Now, what is good with the BladeMaster is it can take on some good 1v1s. However, since it's a melee class and you go into AoE places for PvP, group PvP, you're gonna get shredded up in melee range because the class is melee. However, if you end up reaching the high whale as a BladeMaster, you can have super high DPS, good CC, and good defense, and you can be really strong as BladeMaster. I have heard some rumors that BladeMaster will be getting a slight buff in the future. But again, if you're a new player and you're looking for something more tanky, a tanky melee option, used to playing like warrior tanks and so on in games, or paladin type tanks, then go for the warrior tank BladeMaster in this game. It's going to be good for you at the start of the game. Now let's keep it moving. Let's go to the Gunslinger. Now Gunslinger was really good for a long time. The reason for that is the Gunslinger has range, good range. I think one of the highest range in this game. It's basically an archer, ranger, uses a gun, has a long range. The gun can both do insane amount of DPS and do some CC. Overall, at the start of the game, it was super strong, one of the best classes. Now it's not that top class anymore. Used to playing an archer or ranger, you used to keeping the range, go for the Gunslinger. However, the DPS is still super high. However, your defenses are very low. So if you get caught by a class, you're gonna lose in PvP basically. So as long as you can keep your range away from the targets, you can unleash some good DPS, and especially if you like playing it safe in like dungeons and so on, and staying far away from the bosses, Gunslinger is also a good option for that. So that is the Gunslinger. I don't want to say there's not much more to say about it. It can keep up with the top DPSs. If you're a free-to-play player, I would, if you want to play it safe, go with the Gunslinger. But there are better options for DPSs that I'm going to talk about very soon. So let's keep it going. Let's go to the next one, which is the Assassin. Now the Assassin was again a really strong class because he has his immunity skill, which is super useful in dungeons. And if you're good at playing, it's very hard to play the Assassin. But if you get used to playing the Assassin versus other enemies and other classes, you can do some really good damage 1v1 and be sneaky. However, the survivability of Assassin is one of the lowest. So if you get caught in PvP or mass PvP, they're gonna demolish you. So don't do that. Don't get caught. Assassin overall, it's not the greatest class again to play when it comes to the damage output. It's more of a very difficult sneaky class to play. If you're used to playing like assassins or sins from other games, hiding, sneaking, and doing some nice combos, go for the assassin. does magic damage also. So overall, it's a decent class. I wouldn't get rated too high or neither rated too low right now. Let's go to the SoulDancer. Now the SoulDancer is the healer of the game basically. It has a lot of healing skills, both single target AoE healing, has some CC, basically support class. If you're used to playing full out healer from other games, go for this class. Overall, it's a good class basically. You can have DPS 3 on it and do some good damage as this SoulDancer. Overall, you can survive good in both mass PvP or solo PvP if you're good at using your class, of course. Not too hard to play. Again, if you are like to play healer, like to support and help other allies, go for the SoulDancer. Overall, good class both for new players. However, I will say when you get off from the start of the game and you get to the mid game, end game, you won't need healers anymore in dungeons. People can do the dungeons without SoulDancers, without healers, so you're not going to be that useful anymore in PvE. So again, it's a hit or miss. Can be good for PvP if you know how to play and support your teammates. But keep in mind that you're not needed if you can't do good DPS in dungeons later on. Fighter is the robot basically. Now the robot fighter is a melee class, does good DPS, and I think they increase the time to turn into the robot and deal some good damage. So overall, super high damage in PvE and PvP. Can be super strong in 1v1s. Now keep in mind is a melee class and survivability isn't that high, so basically what that means for you is if you do get in mass PvP, you're gonna probably die pretty quickly because you need to be up on the target and do damage, and there's so much AoEs happening that you don't have the range, neither the AoE to basically survive or the survivability, because you're not as tanky as the BladeMaster. So the BladeMaster can probably survive mass PvP longer than you, but you can unleash more DPS and do some explosive melee damage as the fighter. So again, if you're used to playing, what can I say, like a melee explosive DPS in other games, go for the fighter. But again, it has the weaknesses. Like most of these classes I've talked about have a lot of weaknesses. So let's jump on to the next class, which is probably doesn't have that much weaknesses as the other ones. Not all of them either has like, they don't have the range, they don't have the DPS, they're single target, but then you come to the Reaper. Now I talked about the Reaper last time. This class that I am playing, or this class Salt, is a Reaper, and she looks incredible. Let's be real, look at this. Damn, you got the nice sight, and Reaper is super strong in this game. Most people, that's why most people play it. Very strong in PvP, both if you're starting or if you've been playing for a while. Super high DPS, has range, has mobility, and overall great choice, either for free to play. If it's a little tricky to learn, but once you learn it, both for free to play and whales and any other players, it's a very great class to play, and I will highly advise you guys, if you're a new player, go for the Reaper. Good damage, has the range, and you can't go wrong with it basically, both for PvP, mass PvP, single PvP, PvE, whatever. Reaper is a great choice. So if you are struggling and you can't decide which class to go for the Reaper. You won't regret it. Now let's talk about the newest class, the Puppeteer. Now the Puppeteer is the newest class introduced to Dragon Raja, and it has this puppet and does some really cool DPS. Now the Puppeteer is a range class, and it is really strong when it comes to mass AoE. So if you want to excel with the Puppeteer, you go into those mass PvPs. The more enemies, the more damage you're going to do. Good survivability, long range damage, insanely good AoEs. If you have good support team around you, finding these monsters, you're going to do really great. The monsters or players. For PvE, it can do some good damage. Again, good damage versus moving enemies. But the more enemies there are, the better it is. Super long range and super fun class overall to play and have fun with and learn. It's the newest class, and you have this puppet basically that you control that will DPS with you, which is super cool. So overall, these are the classes. the 7 classes. So if you want to ask me what I would go with if you're new to the game, or even if you're playing it already, is the Reaper is the best choice, honestly. And now if you want to be more tanky again, you like the tank option, go for the BladeMaster. I love playing the BladeMaster. It's my favorite class. It's not the best, but it's my favorite class to play because of the tanky options, and it's melee. I love melee. And then you have the SoulDancer, which you also can't go wrong with because you have the heal option and the support option if you cannot deal too much output DPS. And then the rest of the classes, do whatever you guys feel like you like playing, basically. Because no matter what class you choose, they're gonna come a point, if you're free to play, you're gonna reach a cap that's gonna be a little hard to be able to compete in PvP or anything like that, because again, the whales will probably destroy you. But basically that is my guide on the classes. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If it was, let me know in the comments below. I will make an updated guide on it in the New Year's. So happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.